always alone. You will always be there. Always alone. You will always be there. Always alone. You will always be there. Always alone.
Windows. But this isn't just any first class. This is Emirates first class. And the best part is, I paid less than $100 for this ticket that should have cost.
Okay, good morning. So, feel a bit more awake now, having some food. I've actually managed to have a lie-in this morning. Not as many clients, and actually today I've had a couple of cancellations, so I am completely free. I've just got my haircut later and then training, so I'll take you guys along on that. But this morning I slept in till 6:30. So normal routine, get up, go to the bathroom, wash my face, sort my hair out because it's everywhere, and then have my breakfast, take my tablets. So the one thing I haven't spoken about yet is the fact that I don't take as much medication as I used to, but I was born with cystic fibrosis, which is a genetic condition which causes an overproduction of mucus within the body that's very thick like tar. So everybody has mucus within their body that's more like a lubricant that keeps all the organs and everything moving. In my body it was more like a thick tar. So if you were to swirl yours around in a glass, or anybody who doesn't have CF, swirl that round in a glass, it would be like water. If it was to swirl mine round, it would be the consistency of like honey. It's really thick, mucusy, so that would cause me regular chest infections, so I would always be coughing and things like that. It would affect my pancreas, so I have to take medication with everything I eat. So I do actually have an atrophied pancreas because of it. My pancreas is smaller and it used to have mucus blocking up all the tubes, so it wouldn't release as many digestive enzymes. So people with CF can be very malnutritioned when they're younger because their bodies aren't producing it. So I take artificial digestive enzymes, which I take with food. And then I was on a whole host of different antibiotics and medications. I say was because last year I started on a new medication which had just come out that targets the protein cell. So the faulty gene affects a protein cell within the body, which is to do with production of that mucus and that lubricant, and basically keeps that going. That cell was faulty, which causes then the thicker mucus production and everything like that, and the overproduction. So this new medication targets that, which means that in the last 12 months I haven't coughed due to CF. I don't produce as much mucus, I haven't had any chest infections. So through that entire time it's been like a miracle drug. So with that I am so much better now, which means life is much more normal. I wouldn't say fully normal, but it's getting there. I do still have to take the digestive enzymes purely for the fact that my pancreas is still atrophied, that will not grow back, and I also do have a pancreatic stone. So to just help my pancreas along, I take the digestive enzymes when I eat. I also take the new medication. So whereas I used to be on about probably 14 or so different tablets a day, now I'm on, well, 3 tablets daily, and then tablets with food that I eat. So it's less than half of what I used to be on, which is amazing. So it does mean I now, with these new meds, I have more energy because I'm not coughing all the time. I can breathe better. My lung function is way better. So yeah, all in all, it's much better for me. So I've had breakfast. I'm going to get ready now and then head off to my haircut in a bit, and then I will see you guys at the gym, all fresh faced and having this side's all a little bit smoother. So I will leave you guys to it. I will go get ready and I'll catch you in a bit. Okay, we are now home, hair is cut, all washed, and now time for the gym. So, quick session, it's going to be focused around crucifix on the rings, so the whole session will be aimed around that. Static holds, eccentrics, banded work, and some accessory work. So we will go through that. Let's see you there. Right, training time. So what we need is wrist wraps. So these are to help for the grip on the rings. So they're a little bit different. You'll see a lot of gymnasts using them. We will need chalk, so then my hands don't slip off and I don't go flying. And other than that, that's pretty much it, other than some bands for the band assisted work. So I suppose it's a case of headphones in, let's get going. morning I've got some flexibility work with a couple of guys with Rich and Dean this morning. So we're going to go through some flexibility work all together, make sure that hips are moving. We're basically going to be working on opening up the hips as much as possible this morning, essentially leading towards what would be like box splits. But that's what my personal goal is. For the guys, it's mainly to make sure that hip functionality is working as good as possible for their individual sports, to make sure that they can move correctly without ending up with injuries later on. So that's what we're going to go through this morning. Then I've got a few clients. After that, we'll be going home, have a walk with the dog. Hopefully the weather's not too bad and we don't get too wet. And then it'll be getting all my stuff together to go and do my hobby outside of the gym, and we'll go through and see what I get up to then. So while I'm waiting for my next client, I'm going to do a bit of flexibility work on my feet and make sure that they're functioning correctly. It's something I kind of do on a regular basis, just to make sure everything's moving correctly, because most of the common issues that people get with their backs and hips and things being misaligned tends to be the feet aren't quite functioning the way that they should be. So making sure that your foot function is 100% or as close to is really important, to make sure that you have full functionality of your knees, hips and ankles. So we're just going to go through a little bit now while I wait for my next client, and then we can give them a boost in. Doing here is just loosening up the fascia between the toes and the bottom of the foot. Basically it can get too tight and then your toes won't move correctly. So like with your hands, where you can spread your fingers apart, close them and bring them together, you should be able to do similar types of things with your toes. You can't, and it means that that functionality isn't there 100%. So just trying to get them moving as much as possible, using my hands to facilitate that, by bending the toes, separating them. Not the most comfortable, but it does the job. Okay, that should do. It doesn't take very long, but it's just a case of getting things moving as much as they can, so I know I'm not going to have issues later on. Obviously I've already done mobility with the guys this morning, so that's opened up my hips, kept them moving, making sure that my glutes are activating and that again everything downstream is working the way it should be. And then I'll just kind of periodically through the day work on my feet and just make sure if they feel a bit tight, I'll just keep them moving. I do wear, generally takes the neck out of me for, funky shoes that have individual toes. It's more of a barefoot shoe, which I find for me is way more beneficial than having a raised heel, which I will be doing workshops with at some point. So I'll be going through foot functionality and teaching calisthenics is what I do most of the time, but understanding how your body moves is part of that. So yeah. See you in the next